Hi, I'm Dr. Mike Acanfora, and this is my co-host, Kathy Pacifico. How are you today? Welcome to the Health and Wellness Show in Bayonne. And I'll get that fixed where it says just from me and have my co-host on there as well. So today, we're going to talk about some interesting things. First and foremost is Women's Empowerment Project, and then we're going to talk about lifestyles.
Great.
So how are you, Kathy?
I'm very excited to be here. It's always an honor and a privilege to kind of join you and share some good conversation.
Absolutely. So I'm going to just move this back. The prop guy didn't do that for us. Good. Perfect. So some of the new things that we're seeing in our society overall is a fundamental breakdown in healthy lifestyles. And that's starting at a very early age where kids are not going out running around. They're not doing much exercise. The gym class is only twice a week, where we had it every day. They're not going outside after school. They're staying inside. And we're seeing this lifestyle where generation after generation is becoming less healthy.
Right.
So do you see the same thing in the club?
I do, and it stems from, I think the foundation that we find with families and upbringings, the lifestyles that we're leading, the hecticness of moving at the space and the speed that we're moving, and it's really being able to learn how to find good habits again and make them fun, and we find that people don't intentionally want to be unhealthy, unfit, or not active. It's life gets in the way.
It does. And that's why we recognize that it all starts with mom. It all starts with mom. So if mom decides she's going to be healthier and she's going to really be conscious about what she puts in her mouth to eat, guess who else is going to be healthier?
Absolutely. We need to recognize that being a role model is key to the foundation of our home, and we want that, and I think it's difficult because we have the intention not to not be a good role model. If I had spoken to a lot of women, I know that in their hearts they want to do and be the best for their family.
Sure. Absolutely.
I had a conversation today with a woman that had been kind of thinking about herself, and she was doing really well in a program, and she started questioning her obligations with her children and things that they needed to do for the family, and she was again attempting to maybe put herself on the back burner. And it was interesting because she did not feel that she was making an investment in herself and in her family. She really felt like she needed to do what she needed to do and sacrifice her for her children.
Absolutely. And that's when somebody comes in to see me, it's usually at the breaking point. And when mom sits down, the conversation sounds a little like, you're the mothership, and if the mothership goes down, everything else is in trouble.
Sure.
So not putting, and when I say these exact words, it's not selfish when you put yourself first. It's self-preservation.
Absolutely.
And this is something that we hope with the project that we're doing in our office, which is the Women's Empowerment Project, that we help women make these decisions and improve their quality of life by creating a healthy lifestyle.
It does trickle down, because when we are in a good place mentally, emotionally, physically, we do better. We feel better, we do better. And we're able to be, what I have learned more in the last few years, really present and more available to our children when we're not taking care of ourselves. The stress levels are up, we're not in fundamentally good, sound decision making, and we're racing from one thing to the other, and everything suffers. And so we tend to be what everyone says, the glue that holds everything together.
Absolutely.
And yet in doing so, we need to remember that we need to start with us. We talked last time, I think, about the oxygen tank.
Yes.
I mean, and if you're on a plane.
Yes, if you're on a plane, please put your safety mask on first.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you think, once you're taken care of, once you're okay, the real question is, who do you really want to take care of next?
Right.
And so, who, if it is your children, if it is your parents that are elderly, whoever it is, your spouse that you're in a relationship with, who is that person? Is it the community? What is it that you are wanting to help and be involved in? And how could you possibly even do it at the level that you'd want if you aren't taking care of you?
Correct. If you are unable to think of anything but self because that stress level is so high, you can't see anything outside of that. And that's the problem. And once you're able to expand the ability of handling the stress by taking care of yourself, you all of a sudden are able to look at what the kids are doing and what they're eating and how they're playing sports, and you recognize that there's certain things that you can do to improve their life experience.
Yeah, and I think I find I'm working with a real dynamic woman. Her name is Donna Kretsch, and we have a new program that we're introducing to the club, and it really has a lot to do with mindset. We're in wellness, and we're in exercise and fitness, and what I find is it's not about the food only. It's not about the exercise only. It's kind of a combination of what we define as lifestyle. She has taught me her acronym of lifestyle, and it's different from what our society lives in terms of when they think of health and being in shape and going on diets. And diet meaning, do I eat this? That's the acronym, versus a lifestyle, which is, our acronym is learned instinct for food, for exercise, and for the success training that we live every day.
There you go.
So when you break that down, it's learned instinct. How do you learn? Instinct is instinct.
Right.
But you learn instinctively how food is affecting you. You learn instinctively what exercises are good and not good, what makes you feel great, what causes pain.
Right.
And being aware and teaching them how to really identify the right foods that are good for you, the right exercise, and more importantly, the mind and your thoughtfulness, the mindfulness that you have going on upstairs every day.
Yes.
And so what you were saying about how the women are aware or becoming aware, I think was probably the number one habit.
Absolutely.
In developing that empowerment is one, awareness of what's going on with the children, what's going on in their life, and how do we take control back? How do we pull those reins back and be that mom or that woman that we need to be?
Absolutely. And as much as we'd like to say men have some input on it, we know that women have a lot more.
Oh, but you motivate us. Come on, you're a big motivator for us. I know my husband is a huge motivator for me, and he's a huge support. And I think that, but more importantly than that, I think empowering one to feel worthy and feel that the investment that they make in themselves is going to come back tenfold to those that they're around is really important. And it's all choice. It's funny, I've learned this new mantra that, we're all adults, and we all have the same 24 hours in the day, and we can choose our thoughts, we can choose our actions, and we can choose our behaviors. And I believe that it's not by intention that people want to be unhealthy or unfit or in the place that they're in. I think it's teaching habit and understanding how to develop that awareness first. And then the second habit may be to learn how to evaluate that habit. And really, once you recognize that that's going on, I don't know for yourself, but I know habits, we always are looking to improve in habits. It could be something as simple as, I want to drink more water.
Right.
You see the bottle of water that's sitting on your desk, and you say, I'm going to start drinking more water today.
Absolutely.
And you pull the water out of the refrigerator, you put it down, you take a sip, and you're walking past your office or your work or home, and you're saying, okay, I got to drink that water.
Yes.
And you walk past it, going about your business. You want to drink, I need to drink water. You're thinking about it, yes? You're saying to yourself, I got to drink all this water.
You're definitely doing that.
But you may not drink it yet. You're saying in your mind, I want to drink that water. You take a sip, but it's clearly not going down.
Right.
And then you go about, it's lunchtime, you take another sip, but that same bottle of water is sitting there, and it's been on your desk all morning, and you want to drink it, but you haven't created the habit to drink it. And or it could be that you want to learn how to play the piano, or you see a pair of sneakers that you say, I'm going to start walking today. Or you're going to learn something, like you're doing new things in your office and you want to bring a new technology into the office, and you say, I'm going to learn that. I'm going to start studying something, and I'm going to pick up that book. And you go throughout your day saying, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And then you get to the end of your day, and that bottle of water is still sitting there, and you might say, tomorrow I'm going to start. I'm going to drink the whole thing tomorrow. And you don't really get to it, but you're at least now aware that that bottle was there, where before you may not even be looking at the bottle of water.
Sure.
And so the habit needs to be developed. So teaching people how to evaluate, is that hurting you or helping you by looking at that?
It's absolutely helping you. So the first thing you're saying in habit formation is awareness.
Yes.
So you're aware of this water. So now how do we dial in on that? How do we get that habit to stick? What's the stickiness of it?
I think a little education, a little awareness of why that water would be beneficial, what it does. You know, we create habits. We get up in the morning. I don't think most people don't leave the house without taking a shower and brushing their teeth today. That became a habit at one point. My son is now 11. I hope he's not watching, but he now brushes his teeth without having to be told
there you go.
to
I
go
think
brush
that's
his
the
teeth.
magic age is 11, because Jack's the same way.
It's so funny.
Like, I'll brush my teeth.
Yeah. And it's deodorant now.
Yes,
so it's now like,
deodorant
did you put your
too.
deodorant on? Oh, I gotta do that now. So it's developing the ritual.
Yes.
But to know that we get up in the morning, we take a shower, we brush our teeth. Why are we not waking up our organs? And learning that water is going to revitalize you and help you flush out toxins from the day before and get you to feel alive and feel refreshed. And kind of put your body in a good frame. It's just, again, awareness, education, and why this water is going to really be a good start for your day. That's just an example. I mean, there's so many different.
New York Times best-selling author Gretchen Rubin, who wrote The Happiness Project, wrote that a lot of people that you see in the club, especially females, that are eating at night. And what they're doing, what they're trying to do, is they're trying to change their state. So it's not about the food, it's about changing the state. So it's going from whatever is there to I want to change that, and they're choosing food. Like you said, food isn't the issue, it's the state of mind.
Correct.
So when we go back to habit formation and the stickiness of creating a habit, which leads to a lifestyle, that the first step is being aware. The second step is education, and then what?
Then correction. So after you evaluate and you're aware and you're saying to yourself, okay, it's late at night, and is this going to help me or hurt me? What's the benefit behind? Where am I? Is it a habit hunger? It's not real hunger, probably.
Correct.
It could be just your habit of coming home late at night. This is the way I just settled down. Is it more emotional hunger? You're kind of feeling an emotion that you're trying to. So just being aware of where that trigger is coming from.
Absolutely.
So I think just kind of being a little bit reflective on that, and then not changing but replacing. First, is this going to help me or hurt me? And I think it really stems back a little bit further on what the vision is for that person in that habit. Like why do they want this habit? Why? First getting down to the core of why that habit's important for them to get or to develop, and then what's their commitment to that. And once they have their why that habit is important, it's then really feeding it with awareness, evaluating, is this action going to help or hurt me or put me forward or pull me back? And then how do you replace it? So if it's coming home late and eating and that's not serving me, what could I do instead of that? Is there a book that I could read? Is there music I can put on? Is there something I can do, take a bath or shower? I don't know. What is it that I could do to replace that habit? And because you're not going to change a habit without a replacement. I think.
Talk just real quickly about the why. Like, what are you talking about? What's the why?
It's the power behind everything that we do. I call it the powerful why. And so I use an example for myself. I've been very excited about a new program that I'm studying. It's a precision nutrition course. And so a habit that I needed to develop because I bought the course. I'm not sure if you've ever done this before. We've bought different programs. You wanted to do them.
Hasn't everybody done that?
Or a book that you wanted to read. You're dying to read this book and it sits on your shelf.
Learn to speak Spanish in 10 days?
Right.
Oh, yeah. No, I have never done that. No.
Never? Oh my goodness, I got to hang out with you more often. But
Speed
I know,
reading?
Yes.
I haven't done that either.
But my children make fun of me. Now what is it that you want to do, Mom? What do you want to do? And so
Absolutely.
I think it's my curiosity of wanting to always learn and be on top of things. But there's a course that I enrolled in back in September.
Excellent.
And it takes probably about 8 months to kind of get through the whole course. And it was funny because I looked at it for the first 4 months. It got active during, the holiday season.
Sure.
September.
Yep.
I came on strong, and then all of a sudden, life got in the way, and I would look at that book, and just like the water.
Yes.
And I needed to kind of reevaluate why I enrolled in that course.
Sure.
Like
Absolutely.
what was the benefit that I wanted from that? And
so that's a great example. What was it? Why did you do that?
I think not only to obviously get more education so I can really assist the members and be a resource for people and have really good outcomes for people. It was being able to communicate solutions. It was being able to advance our club and our programming, to give people ways that they could really get the best results in the least amount of time. It was a way to empower my team to further educate themselves. So I was evaluating the program to see if it was something that I would want to invest in for the club and the future of the club. But ultimately was to be really on the cutting edge for our community and to be able to provide solutions. I think we're really about solutions for people, and to know that we already brand ourselves as being very solution and results driven. I believe that understanding the essence of exercise and nutrition and wellness together really can take you to another level and to really give you the backbone of making a program solid.
That's awesome. I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about. So you became aware, you found something that you thought would create value for people.
Correct.
And spoke to your desire to learn and desire to help, and that's the why.
Right.
So it's helping you by quenching that thirst for knowledge, but it's also helping the community at large, which is what we're in this.
Yeah, I mean, knowing that I want to make a difference and I want people's lives to, I want people to become all that they were meant to be. And I know that when they come in asking me for advice and how and what, you want to be a resource. And you want to be able to give them good, sound direction and empower them to be able to enjoy the process. And I think make the corrections, but make it so that it's palatable. And something that they really feel like. Diet means, do I eat this? So
it's a great acronym.
And so we want to teach them how to live. With instinct for certain foods that they are going to be having that are going to affect their energy. What foods are you taking in? Are you finding yourself in the middle of the day exhausted? What did you eat that's making you feel that way? Do you feel bloated? Do you feel sluggish? Do your stress levels go up with certain foods you eat? Or even how you exercise. Some people start to exercise and they go real hard. And I find people that are going to start an exercise program think, oh my gosh, I'm going to start off really strong. They go in too hard, they feel too sore, they're like, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't like exercise. It doesn't feel good. So instinctively they learned not to like exercise. And we want to teach them how to instinctively to do the right thing. If you have an exercise, maybe you're starting with 5 minutes. Maybe you're starting with 3 exercises. And you're getting your body aware of movement again. And so that it's fun. I have an elderly population that's just so empowering. A woman that's in her 80s and one woman that's in her 90s, and to see them living fully and alive and studying. I don't know if I spoke last time about studying centurions. Part of my reason why was to study people who live over 100 and how they do it. And it's so fascinating to see their lifestyle and what they do to empower themselves.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that part is remarkable, because that's what we're actually going back to, is going away from the processed food, going away from the convenience of a packaged whatever,
right,
to going back to eating traditional real food.
It's amazing. I have an experience for myself. I was on a program to get myself really even at a higher health state, and I was a person that was on the go.
Right.
In our facility, I'm doing protein shakes, protein bars, moving like lightning speed, and not really taking care of myself. So new habits that I have just and have established has been, I I'm not a big supplement person, but just taking a multi and some probiotic and some things that I needed to just do to keep myself, feeling strong.
Talk about probiotic for a second, so people who have never heard this before. What is a probiotic?
I think it's really it's a supplement that helps keep your stomach and your gut healthy.
Absolutely.
And you want to keep the good bacteria in your belly out so that you can release toxins and not accumulate any of the bad stuff going on.
Absolutely.
We can get a little bit more, I guess, scientific about that.
No, just all we need to do is hit that. A multivitamin is
it's good for energy, just making sure you get things that are just keeping your energy where it needs to be in balance. Our diet doesn't always have some good nutrients that we need in there.
Very true.
But I think my point of eating is I wasn't eating real food. I was eating a lot of, not processed, but shakes on the go, bars, and they're good for supplements in between. But I've learned how to prepare my food. And I've saved a tremendous amount because now I'm bringing all my food in. I'm not ordering, not that I don't want to order out, but I think, and I've enjoyed the process of really preparing great foods.
Yes.
5 minutes.
Yes.
And so I think learning that habit, my husband was like, oh, let's see how long this habit lasts. And I've been cooking for my family. We've been eating really much better, much healthier. And just being able to be prepared. And I think for a good tip for people just in creating habits is preparation is probably the key to anything in life.
Everything.
Right? Whether you want to save, whether it's for your finances, your career, you're going on a trip.
Everything. It's preparation.
So I think to sum up, I think empowerment and helping women become more aware of what's real important to them and helping them evaluate what's that is going to move them forward or not, and how to correct it and not have to do more work to correct that, but to really replace it with things that are healthy and good and
absolutely.
Empowering.
Speaking of which, the other, my other business that I'm the chairman of the board for the Center for Epigenetic Expression. We have one book that's come out, Fermentation, Food Fermentation 101. So it's getting all those probiotics and healthy bacteria. And the second one coming out goes to the planning is crockpot cooking paleo style.
Nice.
So that is really the key in terms of people like you and myself who are always on the go, is to, if you can't grab something, make it at home. It's just so much easier and so much cheaper.
Quick, I mean, my lunch takes me literally less than 5 minutes because you prepare your stuff in advance. You have everything lined up. You do your shopping in the beginning of the week. You prepare your vegetables or things that you're going to need. It literally takes 5 minutes, but it's mindset. It's aware that you have to prepare, and take the time to do that, and it feels great.
Yes, absolutely.
It really feels great.
It's like you said, you were eating healthy before, but it was not prepared. It was just
it wasn't real. I mean, I'm enjoying food like I've never enjoyed it before, and it's to me. And what happens is we're so used to all the chemical coating on all the foods that are processed that we've lost our real taste buds. And being able to go cleaner and eat better has awakened taste buds and really has put my body back into a nice balance.
We're gonna have to do a whole show on that one because that's really important.
Exciting. It's so exciting.
It really is. So I'm really looking forward to what you're doing in the club and rolling out this new program. And next month we could probably sit down and talk about this as you gain the experience, and then you're able to extrapolate that information out to your team, and then obviously the community benefits the most from it because it's a brilliant way of looking at things that people just have really lost the ability to do.
Right. You mean thinking lifestyle, we want people to live fully alive and really feel that vibrancy and the energy that they're meant to. We're supposed to go to the end of our day feeling amazing. And I think we don't believe that. I think we've been trained to think that we're supposed to feel the aches and the pains, and aging is is treacherous, and it doesn't feel, it's not supposed to be that way.
It is not supposed to be that way. I think, I forget who said it, but it basically we're supposed to live to 110 and then just gracefully fade away, but healthy.
Yeah, absolutely, and I believe that that's really possible, and I think if you study it,
Yep.
you know, if we can teach more people how to do that, they will feel alive and great.
Exactly.
I mean, it's amazing.
Exactly. So I am Dr. Mike Acanfora, and this is my co-host, Kathy Pacifico. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Thanks. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.